So where on the North Shore did you grow up?
Well, I was born in Evergreen Park.
Okay.
Which is the South. And then I lived in Evanston up until high school. And then I moved to Wilmette, Winnetka, back to Evanston.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you've been all over the place. Yeah. What are some of the memories of the North Shore that you have?
Some of my fondest memories are going to the art museum, going to any of the museums downtown. You know, what was available for children is just such an adventure. Take the train and, you know, with my mom and go to the art museum. My dad used to take me to the aquarium. He loved the aquarium and the planetarium. You know, the Museum of Science and Industry. I mean, I went there the last time I was in Chicago, and I was like, oh, it's still there. You know?
And do you come back a lot?
Not as often as I'd like, no. I mean, my dad is still out there in Oak Lawn.
Okay.
My stepmom, and so I try and get back whenever possible.
So you went to New Trier. What was your experience when you went there?
It feels like, looking back on it now, it was like going to a prep school. There was a lot of competition. It was the best education you could get. But, you know, I was really a square peg.
Talent runs in your family with your brother, Michael, and then also your mom, who's a director. Is there, like, a healthy competition between you guys?
You know, my sister lives in a small town in Wisconsin, and she's like a community organizer. She builds parks and playgrounds, and she does fundraising, and, you know, she raised 3 kids. She's very successful, and then they had a diner, her and her husband. I mean, we're all very different. I was the only one who was jealous. Because Jerry's niece was directing Michael in a play. Steppenwolf was just emerging as this really important theater company. And then he started making movies before me. I was really, really jealous because, you know, he was there first.
Yeah.
But that was the only time, because then I felt so bad. He felt really bad, and I was like, oh my God, I was ruining experience for him. That felt way worse, so that was my moment of sibling rivalry that never returned. I don't know, maybe it would be different if I had a sister that was an actress, but I doubt it. We had a really good mom.
And she directed the first film that your production company put out.
Yeah, she directed the documentary called I Know a Woman Like That. We haven't sold it yet, but there's a trailer on YouTube that will tell you what it's about. It was great to work with her.
Now, did that relationship just kind of happen organically, that you two wanted to work together, or was this something that you kind of decided to plan together?
Well, I wanted her to direct this. I had an idea for this documentary, and she was the only one who could direct it.
Okay.
She, you know, claimed that she was unavailable. Because she was in the middle of writing a book, and then she had this big trip planned all over Europe, and I was like, no, Mom, I'm hiring you. And she was like, no, I'll have to check my availability. So I really had to convince her to go back behind the camera, and thankfully she did, and we worked really well together.
So what else inspired you to become an actress? Did you know from an early age?
I just don't remember ever wanting to do anything else. I was so single-minded about wanting to be a professional actress. I never said I wanted to be a movie star. You know, we were all performers, though. My sister was, too. My mother just wouldn't let us do anything professional. So we were very much encouraged to be performers because we were really good at it. She said, you have to graduate high school and you have to go to college. You have to go to acting school.
I mean, that's a good foundation.
It pissed me off, though.
Well, looking back, would you have changed that decision?
Oh, no, not at all.
Do you have any advice for any aspiring North Shore thespians, you know, kids that have the same dream as you, but maybe just don't have as much of the guidance that you seem to have had?
You know, I think that if you're an artist, nothing can truly get in your way. There's an endless amount of roadblocks and people who try to discourage you. But in a way, I think part of that struggle is going to make you a stronger artist. And that sucks because it means you have to fight through that, but you have to do whatever you can do to be creative. It's hard because you'll find yourself very isolated and unhappy. But that's okay. That's just part of it. So if you can't get into a show, you can paint. You can teach kids. I did a lot of that. I had a little kids group, and I did puppet shows. I taught puppet making, really creative, and it was still acting, and I did all kinds of stuff so that I could continue to be creative.
Obviously, Sideways is a beloved film, but when you saw the screenplay, did you just know that this was going to be such a hit?
No clue. No, I just thought this was a really beautiful supporting role. Sandra and I both felt the same way. Like, we're there to be the catalyst for change. We're there to create conflict in the story. And we're very much supporting roles. And especially when you would see those guys work together and how amazing they were. And Sandra got to have the big scene where she beat the hell out of him. And my character is so quiet. She was just a very quiet, gentle, understanding woman. She was a lot like I was at that time. I felt very certain that this part was mine. I knew that I was perfect for this role. And also I spent a lot of time up in that area. Los Olivos was like my getaway. I knew how I felt when I was in the valley. I knew that if I walked in there with that feeling, that they would recognize Maya. They were first at a studio who didn't want me. They wanted a name, because nobody had a name. You know, just business-wise, it made sense that you, please, God, put somebody in there with a name. But Alexander said, fine, I won't make it with you then. I want Virginia.
Wow.
And anytime something really good has happened in my career, it's because somebody fought for me. And he did, and that turned out to be my big break.
Yeah.
You know, at 40. You know?
And then you worked with Francis Ford Coppola in The Rainmaker. How was that?
Oh, that was incredible that he gave me a chance. He and Fred Roos picked me out from a huge list of people. Everybody wanted that part. It was a big show-off role, and it was wide open. There was no specific description of who she was. But I sort of played her like she was very fragile, like if I had never left Chicago. If I had not followed my dream, I would have been Jackie LaManchik. That's a woman who lived with a lot of grief because she gave up on herself.
I saw that you recently wrapped a film with Morgan Freeman and Fred Willard, The Magic of Belle
Yeah,
Isle.
that's the next one coming out in July. That's right next to Sideways for me. It's so good. The love story, and Morgan has never played a romantic lead.
No, I was just going to say, I have not seen him in that role.
Well, you will now.
I love
Morgan
Morgan
you get to
Freeman.
kiss him and everything.
And how was that?
It was excellent. I mean, if you saw me right now, I'm turning bright red. That man is so handsome.
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful movie. The sad thing is that our industry is in such trouble right now. And nobody wants to make these kind of movies.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to make beautiful movies about people. It's very, very frustrating to find quality work right now.
Yeah. Do you foresee that ever changing in the industry? Do you think there will be more of an influx of creative, good movies?
I think for women, it's going to be on TV. It's going to be on the internet, and it's going to be on TV. It's not going to be in feature films anytime soon. I see it getting worse and worse. I see the struggle to find someone to nominate for Best Actress. It's going to be really hard. You know, there'll be a handful of movies that are specifically only made to go to the Academy Awards. They'll be for those same 5 people over and over and over and over again. And Best Supporting Actress, there'll be 75 people lined up. But on TV, still telling our stories. I just finished doing an internet series for Don Abnett. It's a new Google channel, and every single series is about a woman.
Oh, that's great.
It's me, it's Allison Janney and Dakota Fanning are in one, Jennifer Beal, Maura Tierney, and you watch it like a YouTube, or you can watch it, stream it as a whole movie.
That's great.
Foreign investors may not want to invest in women right now. We'll just go elsewhere.
Yeah.
And we're going to make a lot of money that way.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried, I'm just discouraged. It's a brand new frontier. It's really cool. It's kind of like working on 1950s TV.
Now, you also recently wrapped the comedy The Hot Flashes. It looks like a really fun movie. Daryl Hannah and Brooke Shields. Wanda Sykes, yes.
She's hilarious.
I mean, I would be afraid to talk to her because I feel like she could just annihilate anything I said to her.
she will make fun of you if you let her in the best way.
But was there a lot of physical comedy?
Oh, yeah. One of my first scenes, I get into a huge cat fight with Cameron. I have these, like, really ridiculously long hair extensions. We just go at it, and she whips me around by my hair extensions. It's very funny.
And now you've recently been cast in The Bell Jar.
Well, we can't get financing for it.
Really?
We actually, even with Julia Stiles, the lead, we can't get financing for it.
Oh.
And we've been trying to get financing. The producer is Celine Rattray, who produced The Kids Are All Right.
Okay.
And has multiple nominations. He wants to finance Bell Jar. Can you imagine? But, you know, it's a little drama. It's a low-budget film. And everyone thinks it's depressing. I mean, God.
But there's people that absolutely adore it.
You know, that's where she's so smart. She got the option for the book, and we got a screenplay written, and that's what I mean about being discouraged. You get the Bell Jar made, come on.
Yeah.
That's a built-in audience.